Very good morning, everyone. I am happy today because we are going to complete our syllabus in this particular session. In the previous lecture, we have discussed two different topics. The first question is based on the input output interface, and the second question is based on the memory buses. In this particular session, we will discuss two topics. The first topic is IOP. The full form of IOP is input output processor, and the second question is DMA, direct memory access, or DMA controller. So these two are the questions which we are going to discuss in our today's session. So let us start with today's session. The question is, write a short note on input output processor. The question may ask in the 5 mark. Now, what is IOP, or what is the role of IOP? So instead of each interface communicate with the CPU, a computer may incorporate one or more external processor and assign them the task of communicating directly with all the input-output devices. Let me explain this particular point, that in the previous session we have learned the block diagram of the connection between CPU and memory. So over here CPU is connected with memory. Similarly, in the previous diagram also, over here the processor is connected using different types of buses, which is called IO bus. It is connected with the interface. So over here, instead of having each interface communicate with CPU, computer gives you the facility to connect your external processor and allow that processor to directly communicate with all the input output operations or input output devices. An IOP may be classified as a processor with direct memory access capability that communicates with IO devices. So using IOP, input output processor, you can use direct memory access, which is capable to communicate with different types of input output device directly. In this configuration, the computer system can be divided into a memory unit and a number of processor compared of a CPU and one or more IOPs. So when you are trying to provide such kind of configuration, at that time your computer system is divided into different types of memory unit. There are a number of processors compared with the CPU, and there are one or more IOP available in the computer system. So when you provide direct memory access or IOP processor, at that time what happens, your system is connected into memory unit. It contains number of processors and there are one or more IOP connected with the computer. A processor that communicates with remote terminal over telephone and other communication media in a serial fashion, which is called DCP. DCP means data communication processor. see full form you need to mug up because it may ask during the exam. So any processor which is able to communicate through the remote terminal, remote means main terminal, over a telephone and other communication media through which you can communicate, right? So it is in the serial form. Serial fashion means what? It is in the serial form, and that type of communication is known as DCP. DCP stands for data communication processor, right? So these 4 points are related with the IOP. IOP stands for input output processor. Let me repeat this 4.1 once again, that instead of having each interface communicate with CPU, your computer have the facility to incorporate one or more external processor and assign them the task of communicating directly with all the I/O operations. I/O operation or I/O devices means input output devices. Now you can classify IOP as a processor with DMA which is capable of communicate with input output devices. In this configuration, the computer system can be divided into memory unit and a number of processors compared of the CPU and one or more IOPs. A processor which communicates with remote terminal over telephone or other communication media in a serial fashion is known as a data communication processor. It is a full form of DCP. Let me switch to the next slide. Here is the block diagram of a computer with input-output processor. So from the diagram, you can explain that memory unit is a bidirectional which is connected with the memory bus. Memory bus is a bus which transmit the data from memory unit to CPU or CPU to memory unit. Similarly, with the help of memory bus, you are able to transmit data from memory unit to IOP and IOP to memory unit. IOP is connected with the peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means input-output devices. It may be keyboard or mouse or joystick, scanner, printer, anything. Any input or output device can be considered as a peripheral devices, and that device is connected with the computer. So over here we have PD. PD means peripheral devices which is connected with the IO bus. So IO bus is capable to transfer data from peripheral device to the input output processor. So from the block diagram we can write that the block diagram of a computer with two processor is given above. Over here you can see that there are two processors displayed in the block diagram of computer. The memory unit occupies a central position. Central means it is in the middle. So central position which can communicate with each processor. Each processor means which is the first processor, that is called CPU, and which is the second processor, that is IOP. So memory unit occupies the central position or middle position which is able to communicate with each processor by means of direct memory access. With the help of memory bus, you are able to communicate with each bus. The CPU is responsible, this one, CPU is responsible for processing the data for computational task. That means if you want to perform any arithmetic calculations, you can use central processing unit. So CPU is responsible for processing the data which is related with the computational task. The IOP provides a path for the transfer of data between various peripheral devices and memory unit over here. So with the help of IOP, you can transfer your data over the different types of peripheral devices which is connected with your computer system or with the memory unit. Again, I want to repeat one point over here, that if you people are not able to write the given points or not able to exactly mug up the things, at that time you just need to remember the block diagram of computer with IO processor. Based on that, you are able to write the things. That what is the first point? You need to start with the memory unit. Memory unit is a middle position or central position through which you can directly communicate with the two different processor. The first processor is CPU, which can be used for computational purpose, and another processor is IOP. Using IOP, you can have the different types of path which is connected with the peripheral devices and which is connected with the memory unit. Now see, over here from the block diagram you can see that there are 4 peripheral devices connected with the IO bus or with the IOP, and with the help of IO bus, peripheral devices are able to communicate with the IOP. So this point you can write that 4 peripheral devices are connected with the IOP. Each IO device and its operation with the use of IO bus. Over here we have IO bus, which gives the facility to communicate peripheral device with the IOP. The communication between IOP and the peripheral devices attached to it is similar to the program control method of transfer. So generally, the way program communicates or program transfers the data, the same communication is possible with the IOP and other attached devices. The communication with memory is similar to the direct memory access. So when you want to communicate with the memory, over here we can see that IOP is directly connected with the memory unit with the help of memory bus. So in the block diagram of computer with IO processor, we have used 2 buses. One is called memory bus and another is called IO bus. Memory unit is connected with 2 different processors, CPU and IOP, with the help of memory bus. IOP uses IO bus to communicate with the peripheral devices. Here there are 4 types of peripheral devices connected with the IO bus and able to transmit data over IOP. IOP can either transmit data to memory unit or peripheral devices. The communication is same as the programs using which you can transfer your data. The communication with memory is similar to the direct memory access method. So I hope you understand the concept of IOP, that means input output processor, which may be asked in the 5 mark during the exam. Right? Now let us switch to the next question based on the DMA controller or direct memory access. From the name only you can get that you have the facility to directly access the memory. So the DMA transfer controller needs usual circuit of an interface to communicate with CPU and I/O devices. So with the help of DMA, you can directly access the memory. In addition, it needs address register, word count register, and a set of address lines. So with DNA, we have address register which is capable to store the memory address. Word count register is there which is responsible to count different words, and we have different address line which is used for the communication purpose. DS stands for DMA select, RS stands for register select. Now DMA select and register select are the register in the DMA are selected by the CPU through the address bus by sending DMA select and RS input. Let me share the block diagram image first so that you people are easily able to write the following things. Over here, this is the DMA controller block diagram. Now we have data bus buffer which is connected with data bus. We have address bus buffer which is connected with the address bus. The data bus is bidirectional. That means you are able to transfer data from data bus to data bus buffer, and data bus buffer are able to transfer data from data bus buffer to the data bus. Now address register, word count register and control register are again bidirectional. That means they are able to transmit data to data bus buffer with the help of internal bus. Now what is bus? Using bus you are able to communicate with the different parts of computer, right? So it is very easy, don't get confused. What you need to do, you need to connect data bus with data bus buffer, address bus with address bus buffer. Data bus is a bidirectional, address bus is only in the single direction. Data bus buffer is passes data to the address register, word count register and control register with the help of internal bus. This is the control logic structure which is responsible for the DMA request to I/O devices and DMA acknowledgement to I/O devices. So when you want to make a request or when I/O device needs a request, at that time with the help of DMA they are able to insert the request, and based on the request of I/O, DMA gives acknowledgement to the I/O devices. Here are the short forms used. DS stands for DMA select, RS stands for register select, RD stands for reading purpose, WR stands for writing purpose, BR stands for bus request. We are always sending request, so the cursor should be in this direction. Bus grant. Bus grant means it is a permission given to the bus, right? So BG stands for bus grant. And at last, interrupt. Interrupt concept we have already referred during the unit number 4. So you need to refer the last video of unit number 4, which is based on the interrupt. There are different types of interrupt we have seen, right? So this is the part of, these all are the parts of control logic. Let me again explain the block diagram of DMA controller so that you people can easily write the points based on the particular block diagram. No need to mug up the given points exactly. You can write the points by yourself also, right? So you can write the first point, that we have address bus buffer which is connected with the address bus using single direction. Data bus is bidirectional, connected with the data bus buffer. Again, data bus buffer is a bidirectional, connected with internal bus, and with the help of internal bus, data bus are able to transmit data to the address register, word count register and control register. Note that why we have used register over here, because we want to store our data. Here is different types of control logic: DS, RS, RD, WR, BR, BG and interrupt. Read and write are bidirectional. Bus request and interrupt are the exceptions or occurs or senders. So we need to draw cursor in this way. Bus grant, register select and DMA select are the input. So we have inserted arrow. We have drawn inserted arrow. IO device make a request to control logic with the help of DMA request. So we have used imported arrow and this is the out arrow sign. That is called DMA acknowledge to the IO device. Now let me switch to the previous slide. Now the DMA transfer controller needs the usual circuit of an interface to communicate with CPU and input-output device. In addition, it needs address register, word count register and set of address lines. See over here, we have address register, word count register and control register, right? So address lines we have passed. Now there are two types of selection is used for the input, right? See the arrow sign, it is input arrow sign. So DMA select and register select, right? So the registers in DMA are selected by CPU through the address bus with the help of address bus, this one, right? Through the address bus by sending DS and RS input. So we need to send DS and RS as an input line, and with the help of address bus we are able to select DMA register. Now read and write are the bidirectional, as I have told you that we have used both the arrows in both the direction, right? So RD and WR, read and write are the inputs, are bidirectional. Now see BG means grant, right? Bus grant. So when BG equals to 0, which means CPU can communicate with DMA controller. If BG equals to 1, at that time CPU can communicate with memory unit. So when you want to provide the grant which is based on the either 0 or 1, when BG is set to 0, that means CPU can be communicate with DMA and CPU can be communicate with memory if BG equals to 1. Now see, if BG equals to 0, that means read and write control lines are my output lines, because see, it is bidirectional. So sometimes it works as a input line and sometimes it works as a output line. So remember one thing, that when bus grant equals to 0 and CPU communicates with DMA controller, in those cases my RD and WR control lines are behaves as a output line. Similarly, if BG equals to 1, at that time we can say that CPU can communicate with memory unit, and in those cases RD and WR control lines are considered as a input line. The DMA communicates with external peripherals through the request and acknowledge lines, this one. So when you want to communicate with IO devices, so with the help of DMA request and DMA acknowledgement, you can communicate with the external devices. External peripherals means what? External devices which are not the part of computer, which is connected from the outside world. Now let us discuss three different register: address register, word count and control register, these three, right? So let us discuss that three register. The first register is address register. So the address register contains an address to specify the desired location in memory. The address bits goes through the bus buffer into the address bus towards the memory, and the address register is incremented by one after one word is transferred. That means when you transfer any word, at that time address register is incremented by 1, and from name only you are able to get that address register contains address of the desired memory. The second is called word count register. The word count register holds the number of words to be transmitted. Say for example, if you want to transfer 8 words at a time, at that time word count register contains 8. So total number of words are stored inside word count register. When the word is transferred into the register, at that time it is decremented by 1. So when it reach at the 0, that means all the data has been transmitted into the register. So the word count register holds the number of words to be transmitted. This register is decremented by 1 after each word transferred and also tested by 0 after word transferred. The last register is called control register, which is used to specify the mode of data transfer. The mode may be either read or write. So control register is responsible to specify read or write mode of your register. So there are 3 types of register available. Address register is responsible to specify the address of your desired location of the memory. With the help of address register, you can have bus buffer into the address bus towards the memory. The address register is incremented when you add words and you are able to transfer one word at a time. The word count register counts the number of words to be transmitted. It is decremented by 1 when you transfer one word at a time. It will reach to the 0 when all the data has been transferred into the register. Control register is used to specify the mode of data transfer. The mode may be read or write. So this is all about our today's session, as well as this is the last lecture of our subject, computer organization and architecture. Right? I hope you people enjoyed the session a lot, and over here we are going to complete our syllabus. Stay home, stay safe. See you in the next semester. Thank you all.